Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we take those super long and confusing SEC filings and make them, well, a little less super long and confusing. Today we're diving into Juniper Network's latest 10K report, their yearly financial health checkup. Get ready for some twists and turns because this report has more drama than your favorite reality show, mainly because they are getting bought. Juniper Networks, they make the tech that keeps the internet humming, things like routers and network security systems. But the big news here is that Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, or HPE, wants to buy them. We are going to dig into how this proposed purchase is affecting Juniper's business. Alright, first things first, this report is full of forward-looking statements, plain English for promises and predictions about the future. They're talking about things like when the HPE deal will actually happen, what the US Department of Justice thinks about it, and how all this uncertainty might impact their business. These predictions are basically Juniper's best guesses, but they come with a disclaimer. The company is saying, hey, don't take our word as gospel, a lot can change. Let's talk about what Juniper actually does. They sell secure networking tech, helping businesses and governments get online. Think of them as the folks making sure your cat videos load quickly. They focus on three main areas: enterprises like your local hospital, cloud providers such as Amazon Web Services, and service providers. These are your Verizon and Comcast. Juniper's main strategy, which is called Experience First Networking, is to make networks simpler to use and more secure. They're using artificial intelligence, what they call AI native tech, to fix problems before you even notice them, aiming for fewer tech support calls and easier network management. They're focusing on AI Ops SaaS platform, AI Ops. It is basically using data and automation to make the networks more reliable. They've got a plan, and the plan is divided into different categories of products. They sell wide area networking solutions. Those are for connecting large distances for cloud and telecom providers. There's also campus and branch solutions. Those are AI-powered systems for offices, schools, and stores. And finally, there's data center solutions for managing huge amounts of data. A lot of the products across these categories use the same operating system called Junos OS, which makes everything work together more smoothly. One of their products, Juniper Paragon, is a cloud-based system that automates network services and helps businesses measure how well their services are actually running, in their own words. It speeds up scenario planning, bulletproofs network design, and accelerates device onboarding. Think of it as a set of tools to streamline network operations and reduce manual tasks. For the campus and branch environments, Mist AI seems to be a key part of their system, and Marvis VNA is like a virtual assistant that helps troubleshoot network issues using normal language. They also tout something new for Wi-Fi 7 and that it uses AI automation, so customers can make sure that the latest environments are performing well. They are also pushing data center solutions using Juniper Apstra's automation tools and again their Marvis VNA. All of these systems make sure that the network is running smoothly in these data centers that are increasingly needing to work with AI-powered solutions. Security is an important part of all this, and they have a connected security system which focuses on edge, data center, and tying everything together. Now, who is selling this tech? Juniper uses a mix of their own sales teams and partners. Those partners include distributors, resellers, and even some big names like NTT and IBM. Regarding manufacturing, like many tech companies, they use contract manufacturers mostly in places like Malaysia, Mexico, and Vietnam. But this also brings in risk because they are also reliant on limited source supplies, and any disruption to the supply chain can be very harmful to the company's performance. The total product backlog, which are orders that haven't been shipped, was about $739 million. So the backlog increased, but the time frame to fulfill them improved. It used to be 12 months, but now it is 3 months. So you can see there's a normalization now that COVID is in the rearview mirror. Who are Juniper's rivals? They have got some big competitors. Cisco is the big one, but also Arista, Ciena, Extreme Networks, HPE, of course, and even some new companies popping up. There's also significant consolidation within this industry. Because Juniper is a global company, they have to worry about regulations all over the world. That includes environmental rules, data privacy laws, and trade restrictions. One key part of Juniper's protection of its innovation is through the use of patents. They have got more than 6,576 patents. Let's talk about Juniper's people. They talk about company values, which they call the Juniper Way, and it focuses on being bold, building trust, and delivering excellence. They seem to focus on people development, providing training courses focused on building personal capabilities as well as skill development, and overall want their employees to feel happy and supported. It's important to know who is in charge, so here is the list of who's who. Rami is the CEO, Manoj Leela-Nevis is the Chief Operating Officer, Robert Mabasali is the General Counsel, Kenneth Miller is the Chief Financial Officer, Thomas Austin is the Chief Accounting Officer, and Christopher Kadaris is the Chief Revenue Officer. Alright, let's move into the risk section because every company has to lay out what could go wrong. And since Juniper is being bought by HPE, many of their current risks are about just that. The whole sale might not happen, maybe regulators will block the deal, HPE might walk away. Another big risk is competition. This is a tough market with big players like Cisco and Huawei. Juniper needs to keep innovating to stay ahead. There's also risk in protecting their intellectual property. IP, Juniper relies on patents and trade secrets, but there's always a chance someone could steal their ideas. Because Juniper relies on other companies to manufacture their products and get components, there are risks of shortages, delays, and other problems that can negatively affect their ability to do business. The world is a complicated place, and the tensions between China and Taiwan create risks, and there is the conflicts in the Middle East and in the Ukraine. All these things can disrupt Juniper's business. Some of the things that could negatively affect them might be issues that aren't completely in their control, like they may be subject to lawsuits and may need to agree to unusual conditions due to larger companies using their weight to negotiate better deals. The government can also throw a wrench in the gears. There's regulations affecting trade, and regulations in the industry could change. They mention that there are challenges with new technologies such as AI, data privacy, and the legal landscape regarding artificial intelligence is not fully developed. On top of the risks related to trade, business, and international law, litigation has also arisen, and additional litigation may arise in connection with the merger, which could be costly, prevent or delay consummation of the merger, divert management's attention, and otherwise materially harm our business. Then, of course, there's more general financial risk. There could be changes to the tax rules or any of their assets, like goodwill could become impaired. And finally, they include a note that if there are legal disputes with stockholders, it has to be in Delaware, which may limit the stockholders' ability to obtain a favorable judicial forum. The report notes that management has assessed that their internal controls over financial reporting were effective as of the end of 2024. They have taken several steps in regards to cybersecurity risk management, including penetration tests, and the fact that they have a risk assessment program where they monitor for emerging data protection laws, and the CISO and CIO report to the audit committee to keep them appraised of the overall threats to the company. In terms of things that have recently happened, in February 2025, Juniper announced their next dividend payment. Now, let's zoom out and take a broader look at Juniper Networks. Their plan to focus on AI and cloud solutions seems smart given where the industry is heading. However, Juniper isn't the only player in the space, and they will need to continue competing with the big guys like Cisco. The HPE acquisition is really the biggest thing here. It's a huge opportunity, but also a major risk if the deal falls through. They're really in a tough spot right now because there's not a whole lot of company strategy that can happen as long as there's this acquisition in place. The main risk here is uncertainty. We need to remember that we are taking a look at the company as a whole and not as the deal that's on the table, since we're not in the business of trying to determine future buyouts. So we have to assume that this company will still be a going concern if something goes awry. So what's Juniper stock worth? Well, that's a tricky question right now, given the pending acquisition, but let's try to put on our thinking caps. If we use a generous multiple with the little information available for the stock price and earnings per share of 0.86, with approximately 333 million shares outstanding, a reasonable target price range would be $33.35, though that is also based on the expectation that the deal will not go through with HPE. Overall, I'm leaning bearish. Juniper is really in a holding pattern right now, and the risk of the deal collapsing looms large. They're in a state of limbo and might need to come up with a whole new strategy. One last note, in this 10K it is indicated that the financial statements reflect the correction of an error to previously issued financial statements. This is not a good look. Thanks for watching, and if you found this breakdown helpful, hit that subscribe button for more corporate deep dives.